Who is he? He is me. Hi, I'm Rafi Redzwan. This is he. Here is my chance to share some amazing stories with some amazing people that are inspiring to me. He celebrates everyday people of everyday life. He revolves around conversations that inspire others to change the world and make a difference in life, with a little bit of laughter and a whole lot of drama. Join me for personal stories and experiences on health and healing, successes and failures, recovery and discovery, anything relatable, and anything in between. He elevates us to rise again and live our very best life. Just so you know, you are not alone. He is with you.
Yeah.
They don't even stand up for us, right? They don't.
Yeah. In
Hey,
fact, some
okay,
of
I'm gonna
them.
take. Sorry, I
I,
did say us. Sorry. I'm gonna take that out. Okay.
okay, sure. Terlepas pula.
Lupa. Okay. Continue, Dr. Johan. I will take that out. I promise. Okay,
Okay.
go on. Dr. Johan Juhari analyzes a study on the prevalence of mental health issues surrounding the LGBT plus community. In this episode, he delves deep into the milestone research conducted by Dr. Johan on coping strategies and mental disorders among the LGBT plus community in Malaysia. He explains the community is vulnerable to mental disorders due to the pressures of being in a conservative heteronormative culture. The stigmas that Malaysian LGBT plus individuals face from society, the law, and within themselves are often caused by societal and religious values incompatible with the ideology of non-cis-gendered that leads to institutionalized prejudice, social stress, social exclusion, discriminatory hatred and violence, and internalized guilt and shame. He suggests more studies should be conducted to better understand and better manage mental disorders of the Malaysian LGBT plus community as an initiative to navigate the future of a nation that is inclusive and fair for all. This is his story. Hi, Johan.
Hello, hi.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
It's been so long since spoke to you, and I am so happy to have you over the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And today we have Dr. Johan Johari, and then we will talk about on addressing challenges in LGBT plus mental health in Malaysia. And this conversation will talk about Dr. Johan Johari's research work behind addressing the issues surrounding LGBT plus mental health and the challenges faced by the community, and hopefully to discover what is the meaning and why it happens. Hopefully, you would also suggest how to cope and overcome the challenges from the health perspective of a physician, a researcher, and also your personal views. This aims to provide exposure and understanding about the issues and help to do greater good for the community and improve the mental health aspect of LGBT plus lifestyle. What are the challenges predominantly faced by the LGBT plus community in Malaysia?
Malaysian LGBT plus community is in a very unique space with a lot of challenges that you might not find in anywhere
Mm,
else,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Because the special, um, for example, the special laws that we have um, in the let's not even talk about the LGBT plus first. Let's talk about the special
yeah,
laws among the races in
yeah, yeah.
Malaysia how like the Malays are constitutionally Muslim, and then there's no real way for a Malay person to get out of Islam.
Mm,
Um, well, no real accessible way, right? And
yes,
things like that.
correct.
So as with that, you can even guess where I'm going with this, right?
Yeah.
So there's the cultural aspect, there's the religious aspect, there's the legal aspect, as well as there is the religious law aspect that
Yes.
that is faced by the community in Malaysia.
Mm-hmm.
So what this means to an LGBT plus person in Malaysia is that
Mm-hmm.
they are bombarded from every aspect, right? Like
Yeah,
nowhere is safe.
true,
Um,
true.
even in their family, so they will face stigma uh, from the law, from the society, from the
Yeah,
institution, from the family, and even from themselves growing up in Malaysia. Yeah.
yes, yes.
So and being despite us being into 2022, it's still very common for locals to use LGBT as a scapegoat, right?
Yeah,
Like I think it was just a few years ago when there was like heavy rain and they blamed it on the LGBT plus community existing, and this is in
yeah,
like all the major newspapers. This is not like some some
yeah.
coffee shop talk or anything like that, right?
No, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So the LGBT plus community in Malaysia is facing all of these issues, and of course, like logically, when we think about it, it would affect their mental health status, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like imagine um, growing up in a place where everybody says you're wrong, even
Mm.
yourself, you
Mm-mm.
know. So it's so to go into each of the challenges is
Yeah,
it's going to be a very broad topic, and we probably will talk for like 4 or 5 hours just on it, you
just
know.
on that, yeah.
Yeah,
But I have a say on that. I think it's so wrong in so many ways just to blame that small community when the rest is like how it's why that small community? Like why Malaysia is being punished for having heavy rain and that community is being bombarded with that.
because we are the weakest, because there is no politician who will like not even politician, let's even talk about like celebrities or
Mm,
any public figure. No public
mm.
figure would stand up for us,
No,
right,
no.
in the
Even
community.
those and some those public figures are one of them too, but
Yeah, so like what I was saying, like the LGBT community in Malaysia is the weakest, is the weakest group, right?
yeah.
Nobody will stand up for us. Uh, Not even people, uh, no politician will stand up for us. It will be political suicide to even say that just leave the LGBT alone. No celebrities would dare to say about us. No influencers would even
Mm-mm.
like stand up in
Mm-hmm.
a platform and on a platform and just say, look, stop it, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
stop targeting us.
Mm-hmm.
And with all the aforementioned challenges, right, we ourselves are already in what psychologists call learned helplessness,
Mm.
right? We know
Yeah.
that whatever we say is gonna be shut down. We know whatever and like the LGBT plus community doesn't ask for much. We just ask to be treated like fellow human beings, you know.
Yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And but we know that if we even ask for that, right, we will get shut down,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Yeah, yeah,
And more like that's what learned helplessness is, and that's what's happening with the LGBT plus community in Malaysia.
yeah. Now, before we go forward, may I know the description between the LGBT plus and then some of them are with Q and then IA. Why do you choose just LBGT
Okay,
plus?
so um, I chose the term LGBT plus for two reasons, right? One,
Yeah,
it's historical. Like the first LGBT movements in America and in other Western countries
yeah.
started with this concept of LGBT,
Mm-hmm.
because even at that time, the
Mm-hmm.
LGBT is actually an umbrella term for everyone that is not cis-het, right? Not
Yeah,
cis-sexual, sorry,
yes,
cisgendered or heterosexual, right?
yes,
So
yes.
even then, it was a thing, but people didn't know how to define themselves. We
Mm.
get people like not Martha Stewart. I mean, like Marsha P. Johnson,
Yes.
who I guess in today's terms, at least from my own perspective, she would be gender fluid. She
Mm-hmm.
never completely say that she's a woman, but
Yeah, yeah,
she never shy away from identifying as a man sometimes. So it's
yeah,
always,
yeah,
so it's a gender fluid thing, and but
yeah.
that term gender fluid didn't exist back then, right?
Does the gender fluid fall into that category too?
Yes. So like
Even
for
even if they're straight, for example,
even if they're straight. So
right?
yeah, so the thing is
Ah,
the LGBT. So that's the LGBT, right? Because of a historical value in that, to honor the people that have fought before us,
yeah.
and the plus is honestly because like I think one of the more comical way for people to describe the LGBT plus community is as the alphabet mafia, right? Because we keep on
Mm-hmm.
adding the alphabet there,
Yeah,
LGBTQIAAWXYZ and things like
yeah.
that, right?
Correct, correct.
Yeah, but a plus would just for me it is a very simple and elegant way to kind of like envelope everybody else,
Yes.
or everybody uh, that don't identify with the specific letters of LGBT, and we have a lot of that. So what LGBT means to me, LGBT plus means to me, and to like in my paper, is that it's anybody who is not who doesn't identify as both cisgendered
Mm-hmm.
and heterosexual. So
Mm.
you can be non-cisgendered but heterosexual, or
Yes.
cisgendered and non-heterosexual, or
Mm-hmm.
non-cisgender and non-heterosexual. So basically, it's a bigger umbrella for us to fit
Umbrella.
in, I guess. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, yeah, yeah. And I like how they now come up with all those explanation, meanings that we people in that community are valid for whatever
Mm,
reason. They don't
mm.
just, they don't just make themselves. They are born that way,
Yeah, yeah. So
and
it's not a choice. It's never a
it's not
choice.
a choice. It's never a choice. Yeah.
For me, it's just this. It's a very simple thing, a very simple and logical thing. I'm in Malaysia. I'm part of the community. Why
Mhm.
would I choose to be gay in Malaysia? you
Yeah.
know, when
Yeah.
all the odds are stacked against me. Why would I do that?
Yes.
Right?
Correct.
Like,
Correct.
so that's not it's not an accept it's not a logical thing. It's not a logical choice.
No. No.
Yeah.
But when you place a law into it and then harm these people, I don't think it's right in so many ways.
Yeah, definitely. And this law is a colonial artifact that we had. It's
Yeah.
actually based on uh, the English common law, if I'm not mistaken,
Mhm.
and we brought it in via India actually. So because our what do you call our penal code is based on the Indian penal code, which was based on the English common law.
Mhm.
So uh, and the reason I mention these countries is because I want to tell you that these countries have already abolished this law of
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
unnatural sex, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So like if the parent laws have already abolished these laws, why are we still keeping it? You know?
Mm-hmm. Mm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Maybe in the future, eventually would probably do something about it, but that's something that I'm not going to touch. But how do you, as a physician, address these issues?
I see a lot of young people that struggles with this identity, or even use it as a shield. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and but the fact of the matter is, this issue is affecting everyone
Mm.
from every
Yeah,
age range. Yeah,
yeah.
so as a physician, I remember there was one patient who came to me and asked me to write him a referral letter to go to a conversion camp, a conversion therapy camp, meaning
Is
that
there such a thing here?
um, there
There
is,
is?
yes,
Oh my God.
there is a government backed one, and but this particular one was a church backed one,
Okay,
and and
just like in
I
America. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
I sat down with him and I talked to him about his problem and why he wants to be referred. And with active listening and with validating his emotions and things like that, he finally said that the thing that makes him not want to be gay is that when he loves someone, he just wants to hold their hand. He just wants to show the world that
Mm-hmm.
we are a thing, we are a couple, we are husbands,
Mm-hmm.
and he could never do that in Malaysia.
Mm-hmm.
And that personally broke my heart when I heard him say that, because
Mm-hmm.
it's not even that he feels that being gay is wrong, it's just that he doesn't want to deal with that, with that
Mm-hmm.
heartbreak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
So
understand that. Yeah.
as a physician, the most I could do is I could just talk to him, I could just
Mm-hmm.
listen to him, you know, and validate what he's going through.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that is something that is very, very important that a lot of doctors forget, that, sometimes patients just need a listening ear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And then it's also, if he were to decide that, it's his choice too.
It is his choice. Yeah.
At that time, maybe he would
Hmm.
figure it out after he complete the camp.
Yeah, definitely.
But
Yeah.
that would be his journey. But again, their decision. Then they have to go through the whatever they want.
Oh, definitely. Like,
Yeah.
we have to remember that, like, physicians are not gods, right? Like,
Yes.
we
Yeah.
are not the end all be all. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
we are there just to help.
Help. Yeah.
And sometimes the way we help is just by listening, and just
It-
by, like, um sometimes people, like, especially with me being in the psychiatric department, psychiatric
mhm.
community, sometimes people don't realize what they want, or why they are doing things like that, right?
Mm,
Like,
true. True.
so what we do is just ask the right question, listen
Mm,
and ask the right questions,
mm,
and hopefully, like, they can realize why they are doing things.
mm, mm.
But at the end of the day, it's still their choice, right?
Yeah.
If they want to go to these places, then yeah, that's their
That's
autonomy.
Yeah. What should we do as a society to help break the stigma, break the barriers, and promote an understanding, at least an understanding, at least an understanding? You may not be the person to agree with something,
Hmm.
but at least to help promote an understanding where you can accept them as a human being. You may not
Yeah.
have to agree with them, with the choices in their life.
Okay, it's very iffy in Malaysia because, again, like the legal ramifications and also the societal stigma against the name. But what can we do as a society? Huh?
Mm.
I guess the number one thing is treat the LGBT plus community like normal people.
Yeah.
You know, um, we have a lot of allies, but a lot of them are what I call performative allies. Like,
Hmm.
they love us when we kiki kaka, when we, like, when we are
Yeah.
this character and things like that. But
Mm,
at the end of the day, if somebody were to talk bad about us or up against us, I don't hear these people standing like
mm,
standing up for us. In fact, sometimes these people who these performative allies, right? They might
mm,
even be the one who talk bad about us, or
mm,
like,
mm, mm, mm,
uh, propagating the stereotypes and things like that.
mhm.
So it is. I actually don't know how to break the stigma,
Mm-mm, mm-mm,
like, how to promote the understanding, right? Like, I guess, like, just treat the LGBT plus community as normal human beings, and
mhm,
if just look at it this way, if this is something uh that would hurt your best friend or your family, right?
mm.
And you would get angry for those reasons, right? Like,
Yes,
at those
yes.
things, why don't you get angry for the LGBT plus community? Why
Mm,
don't you
mm,
react the same way? you know so
mm.
honestly, it's a very tough nut to crack, but
Yeah, yeah,
it is something that we need to start somewhere.
yeah, yeah. I mean, we see these people, celebrities are standing up for this community in America, but it's also not easy over there too,
Mm,
because
mm,
people still get bullied, abused for being themselves. But of course, here it has its own challenges as well. And at the same time, you see that people in that community are struggling.
mm,
If we were to help them, we have to help them quietly. It cannot be
mm.
openly because we are so scared of being kacham, you know?
Yeah,
Okay?
yeah, yeah.
To do something.
I
Yeah?
get what you mean, but like for cis-het people, right? For
Yeah.
cisgender heterosexual people,
Mm.
if they speak up, they might get kacham, like you said, they might
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
cancelled, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but what I'm gonna tell you is that like for the LGBT plus community in Malaysia, being cancelled is the best thing that could happen to them.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. True.
because we get beaten
Mm.
up, we get
Mm.
we lose our jobs,
Mm-mm.
we lose our opportunities in like studies, careers, and things like that. Just when people find out that we are part of the LGBT plus community, and like I don't need to remind you that a couple
Mm.
of years ago, there was one Indian boy who was killed
Mm.
because he appeared effeminate, right? We don't even know
Mm.
if he was part of the LGBT plus community, right? But just
Mm.
because he appeared effeminate, he
Was he
was killed.
murdered? Killed.
He was
Murdered.
he was um he was beaten up by a bunch of like
Oh.
15, 16-year olds, if I'm not mistaken, and he
Wow.
died. So
This is.
I
Mm.
will be this might be crude, but I don't care about you being kecham when we are being killed. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
exactly. It's wrong.
Yeah.
But also you have this law that will put you in jail too for talking like this. You know what I mean? So
Not
if you
necessarily.
have someone like me, for example, if I
Mm,
were ever to get there one day,
mm.
have millions of followers, and not trying to encourage this, but trying to also, promote an understanding. Do you think that can jeopardize my career just so I defend the LGBT plus community?
I mean, there is a chance. Like, let's not. And there is a huge chance that it
Mm,
might affect you going forward, right?
mm,
But, um, but
mm-hmm,
I'm not gonna lie to you. Like,
mm,
the laws are there, and if they can use this law against you for speaking up about LGBT plus community, they can actually do that for anything, right?
yeah,
Because
yeah.
the law in Malaysia, the specific law in Malaysia against the LGBT plus community is only
Mm.
um, it's the unnatural sex law. That means you
Okay,
cannot.
okay, okay, understood.
Okay,
Okay, so we are somehow it's not it's just that
it's just
it's
that.
just
Yeah,
that it's just that.
it's not about like standing up and speaking
Okay,
about me because
okay,
those.
okay.
Yeah,
Otherwise, your work wouldn't be valid for helping these people. You know what I mean? I
yeah,
don't think that talking about it, if even if it's wrong, I mean, how are you going to address this as a nation? Because
yeah.
we are part of, the country. We are the people.
We are the people.
We're
Yeah,
born here. You know,
yeah.
and
Well,
it's really sensitive to talk about it, but it's also very, very hard to also address these issues.
that's true. It's a catch 22. Like
Mm,
we can't we can't really like you asked me how to break the stigma, right? I don't know.
can
Like I don't know.
yeah, yeah.
Because but I have to start somewhere where I can do. Like for me personally, what I'm trying to do to break the stigma is
Mm.
like, produce papers like this.
Yes, yes.
Um Giving this kind of interviews and talks because like I think this thing the community should be normalized, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like the conservative estimates for the gay community in the world, basically I think it's about 10%. That is the conservative estimate, right?
Estimate. Yeah.
And that doesn't even include the rest of the lbt plus.
Yes, yes.
So maybe LNG, if I'm not mistaken, if,
Mhm.
is homosexual, right? So not even B, T, and all the
Mm.
other.
Mm.
So actually, we do have the power. We like the LGBT plus community presents even if it's 10%, that's 10% of voting power, you know.
Mm.
So
Mm.
yeah,
Mm.
I know we
That's a lot. That's a lot. That's a
yeah,
lot.
I know we are not supposed to talk about like politics so much, but
Yeah, yeah.
the election is coming up, you know.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
So that's something that that we have to. We are not as weak as what we believe, or what
Hmm.
we are made to believe, you know.
Mm. Mm.
But
Yeah.
we just need enough people to realize that.
Hmm. And why is this cause important? Why is this research and work important?
Why is it important? Because I'm part of the community, so
Mm.
I think it's important because, like my patient that I told you about, right? Like I
Mm.
can't go out and hold hands with my boyfriend. You know,
Mhm.
um, I can't, I can't even disclose that I'm gay to like certain people
Mhm.
where I work,
Mhm.
for fear of me being discriminated against.
Yes.
I mean, I try to be open about it, but
Mhm.
I look at it this way. Like I'd say, it's 10% of the community, right? Like so,
Mm.
it only makes sense that at least 10% of psychiatrists in Malaysia is part of the LGBT plus community,
Mm. Mhm.
but not one of them talked about this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
that's
most it's they prefer to like don't kiss and tell.
yeah,
Yeah.
so,
That you
and
can't be open about it, you can talk about it. Okay, fine, we don't talk about it. But if they ask you something, that how do you answer them? Like, do you have girlfriend? Can I say that I don't? You know what I mean? Things like
mm,
that.
mm.
So how do you how do you engage in that, conversation when you cannot be open about it? This is what I mean, you know?
I try to be as open as I could, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I am working in psychiatry, so my bread and butter is about gauging people.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so for the most part, if I gauge somebody that when who I talk to at work, that they can't accept me being a part of
Mm-mm.
a LGBT plus community, I wouldn't say anything, right?
But do you realize that when you don't say anything,
Mm.
but at times they tease you, they
Yeah.
AJ you, like, you know what I mean?
Oh, yes, but
Kadang
I.
some people like they don't agree with it, for example,
Mm,
but it's okay for them to AJ you like, ke kau ni gay ke, you know?
mm-mm. Well,
But they don't want to accept that, but
yeah,
it's okay for them to tease you or bully you for things
yeah.
you don't even want to hear,
You're right. You're right. And
right?
sometimes, yeah, and it's hard. And when
Yeah.
they do these kind of things, when especially when they know that they have the numbers, right?
Mm-mm.
So it
Mm.
is quite, yeah, it's quite hard. It's quite
Mm.
hard to not retaliate sometimes. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
yes,
Yeah.
yes. And before I ask you what are the forces behind this, you
Mm,
know, this initiative that drives
mm,
you to address the issues, let me tell you mine. I think this is very important because it is related to mental health.
mm,
When you don't have that bit of community that you think is a threat to you, it's not
mm,
healthy mentally,
mm,
where this part of community also contribute to society.
mm. Yeah,
It's going to do a lot more damage than good.
that's right. I agree
That's
with you.
why I want to talk about it. And this is the second season of the show, and then the first
Mm,
season I did talk about it openly,
mm,
and
mm,
why it was important, and the
mm,
discrimination is really bad. But this
mm,
time I think we come in an aspect where it is in research form, that is
mm.
written on a paper, that
Yeah,
is not just by mouth.
yeah, yeah. I wanted to talk about that actually. Why is it
Mm,
important, right?
mm, mm.
Because you're right. Like there's no documented evidence that the
That
LGBT plus community in Malaysia specifically is suffering, right?
mm, mm,
I mean, logically, all of us know. Like even like when I talk to psychiatrists who are conservative, who are even homophobic, right? Like
mhm,
even they can say that, yeah, of course the LGBT plus community would have a higher mental health, um, uh, a higher prevalence of mental health issues
Mm. Mhm.
compared to the common population, the general
Mm.
population.
Mm.
But saying something
Mhm.
and not being able to prove it
Mhm.
is means nothing in academia. It means nothing in policy making, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
we need this number. We need this number as a baseline, right? So I have
Mm.
like with this study, we have proven with numbers that the LGBT plus community is suffering. Like, um, just as a bit of spoiler in my about my study, like
Mhm.
um, the likelihood of an LGBT plus in Malaysia to have any diagnosable mental health issue is at least 2 to 3 times more than the general population, right?
Mm.
So, okay, w- and that is only that is like diagnosable. That means to the point that you are having a clinical diagnosis. But like the ones before, like normal everyday mental health issue that you need help for,
Mm.
that would be much more.
Yes, yes,
And
yes, yes.
if we talk about depression, the what I found in my study is that among the LGBT plus is 20 times more than the general population.
Mm.
So
Wow.
yeah, it's crazy. The numbers are crazy,
Thank
but
you.
numbers don't lie, you know.
It, yeah, I know.
Yes. So these are the
Mm.
things. So this is why we need these numbers, because it's the first step
Mhm.
to doing something more important, like more
Mhm.
substantial. More studies can be built on this. People can go in even deeper about why they are having all these issues. Does having these laws uh, that targets the LGBT plus community,
Mm.
um, does it affect their mental health status and things like that, right?
Yes. Yes.
So and hopefully in the future, based on this one study, more studies can be made, and hopefully we in the future we can actually amend the law.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but it has to start somewhere, and this is, I
Yes.
guess, this is our start.
What are the most difficult challenges you can share in this journey?
First
Hmm.
of all, is like when I presented this study for our ethical board, ethical committee. I'm very very grateful that the UM ethical committee was very open to this idea.
Hmm.
But I think the biggest challenge that I had at that time was decide like educating the academia of what
Mm.
LGBT plus is and why this study is important.
Mm. Mm.
Like the LGBT plus community is out of sight, out of mind,
Mm.
um, to most cis het people, right?
Mm.
So it's not something that they even consider as would be significant work, or we will get significant data from it, right?
Mm.
So educating them is very hard, and let's not talk about educating them on what the plus means and what is the
Yeah.
difference
Yeah.
between trans men and trans women and things
Yes.
like that,
Yes.
because that is also quite hard. And
Yeah.
but the second thing that I think one the biggest challenge, actually this is the biggest challenge I had, was talking to the population, talking to
Mm.
the so I first advertised this study through Twitter, right?
Hmm.
That was my first ever advertisement, and it got 3,000 engagement, like
Wow.
over the course of 2 3 days, I think.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, and out of those 2,000 again, sorry, 3,000 engagement,
Hmm.
about I contacted about 300 people, or rather, they contacted me. These 300 people contacted me about it,
Hmm.
but like only half of that actually enrolled in the study.
Hmm.
So, and when I talk to them, like there's so much fear. There's so much fear about like
Mm.
their security, their data, their
Mm.
thing.
Yes. I
And
bet. I bet. I
yeah,
bet.
they're very
Yes. Yes.
afraid. Some of them
Yeah.
even asked if I was like, if I was with the government, like as in like with the Jakim or whatever, you know.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Yeah. So, and being professional, I cannot go like, "Hey, girl, no," you know. I
Yeah.
cannot
Yeah.
do like that.
Yeah.
Like I have to like,
Yes.
like
I
it's
believe so.
we did all we can to protect the data. Like I am the only person who has the data. Like even as you see from my paper, there are three authors, but I am the only one who has all the data. So and whatever I shared with them for analysis and things like that, I have removed all identifiable data. So it's just, you know, age range, salary or whatever, things like that
Mm-hmm.
only. So um, that's how we try to protect it. But like talking to
Mm-mm.
these people, like talking to 150 people, and mind you, like each person takes an average about 1.5 hours
Uh-huh.
of interview, and it's heartbreaking. I
I
had
bet. Yeah.
I had a couple of people who couldn't even finish the study because they were facing with a lot of issue at the time, you know.
Mm. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Yeah, and to hear like people um bearing their souls out, some most of
Mm.
them for the first time, you know,
Mm.
like they
Mm.
didn't even know that they had anything. They thought
Mm.
of just participating, right?
Mm-mm.
And it's hard, it's heavy. I couldn't
Mm.
I don't think like it's something that I would um I don't think it's something that should be taken lightly, you know, like
Yeah, yeah, it shouldn't. You know what I
yeah.
learned in this journey is that they're prone to substance abuse. They're
Mm,
prone to anything that they're not supposed to, you know,
mm,
like risky behaviors.
correct.
If their mental health is not that, you know,
Mm,
stable, they are prone to that.
yeah.
Risky behaviors, substance abuse, prostitution, and if you know as the country neglect that on
Mm,
purpose just so that
mm,
these people are sinful and must be punished, that is so wrong in so many ways. And this has to stop.
yeah.
It has to stop, and someone like you must take um this work to not just you but also to not just normalize it also, but to make it like it is it is a work that must be addressed,
Mhm. Mhm.
must be spoken about too.
Yeah, I agree.
This community cannot be ignored, and the more you try to ignore it, the worse it gets, the worse it
Mhm.
becomes.
Oh, yeah, talking about that, like another challenge I had was actually from the community itself. Like a lot of people didn't want me to go with this study because
Mm,
they're afraid of their status quo, you know?
mm,
Like
mm,
they want to
mm,
keep the status quo because, and I usually find this in I'm sorry to say, but the
mm,
the older population, like
mm-hmm,
okay,
mm-hmm,
maybe not super old, like but people in their 40s and above,
yeah,
um, because like these people they benefited from they learn a lot to protect themselves and guard themselves from scrutiny and things like
mm,
that,
mm,
and
mm,
they have maintained well, right?
mm,
Maybe with a lot of anxiety and things like that,
yes,
but at the same time, um, they are afraid because their existence is fragile, right? I
mm,
understand. I would be super afraid if I were in their position as well,
mm,
and a lot of them are afraid that if you know this thing is being talked about and things like that, the
mm,
government will come down harder on them. You know,
mm,
yeah. So these things happen, and yeah, I've had people telling me that, you know, trying to discourage me from within the community itself, um,
yeah,
because yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
but sometimes I wonder if they forgot that the friends that they lost along the way,
mm,
because
mm,
even me as a I'm a 36-year-old man, right?
mm,
Like I have lost at least three friends
mm,
to to AIDS and HIV, and this was because at that in the 90s, in the 80s, people don't want
Mm.
to
Get
people
treatment.
people yeah, because of stigma, right?
Was there
So
treatment at that? There was no treatment at the time, right? In the 90s
in 90s there was treatment already,
already, but
but
they didn't.
yeah,
They,
because
oh,
uh,
wow. They're
it's not
scared to talk about it.
yeah, yeah, but even like even in America, right? Like
Mm.
they didn't want to address this because it's
Mm.
not their
Yeah,
problem. It's not the cishet
true.
problem. It's a gay
Yeah.
problem, right?
Mm. Yeah. Yeah.
Like yeah. So
Mm.
yeah. And part of me is doing this for them as well. You know, like our
Mm-hmm.
friends who has passed on, people who have struggled and are not with us today. You know, this
Yes. Yeah.
yeah.
Mm.
So it's not only for the living,
Yes.
and it's also for those who has
You
passed before us
suffer.
and
Yeah.
who is going to come after us.
Mm-hmm.
i I mean, like I try to be a realist, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't believe like based on my study within 10 years we can overturn all the LGBT plus community can flourish in Malaysia. I don't believe in that, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Or rather I want to believe, but it doesn't make sense, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But if because of this study or the changes that these people are making, the real advocates are making, like Nisha Ayub, Pankita, Nukman Avivi are doing, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
If my like down the line, like in 50 years, the LGBT plus community can flourish in Malaysia, that's
Mm-hmm.
good enough.
How can we overcome these challenges affecting LGBT plus community in Malaysia?
The first thing is to um, not to bring down each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like support each other, because the LGBT plus community doesn't have anybody else but the LGBT plus community. You know
Mm.
that and we rely on each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and as a community, if we are talking about we as a community in whole, the general population, then I guess it starts with a very simple thing, like to
Mm-hmm.
respect each other as human beings.
Yeah. And those negative narrative on the
Mm.
media should stop too, you know?
Yeah, because those
It should
happens
stop.
those happen because we don't respect each other as
It's
humans.
so disrespectful in so many ways.
Yeah.
I know you're chasing for ratings,
Mm.
numbers of views and whatnot,
Mm.
but I think that has to stop. You know, a narrative that says I married a gay husband,
Mm.
my father is a gay. You know, it
Mm.
has to stop. Come on, you are
Mm.
in in that field, in that media field.
Mm.
You have that community working for you, and
Mm.
that is the narrative you sell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah. So like people in the media does have a lot of power over this actually.
Mm. Your makeup artist, your apa, your MC,
Mm-hmm.
they're all LGBT plus community.
Mm. And
You don't have
people
to say it out loud, but it's obvious. It's so
yeah.
so obvious, and with gender fluid dressing,
Mm-hmm.
you know, they don't have to be transgender anymore. They can wear baju kurung and still look like a man,
Yeah.
which is okay, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
But somehow it's like it's you still sell that narrative. It has to change.
I agree with you. It has to
Yeah.
change. Yeah. And like I think the media has the biggest power here, right?
Mm,
Like if they were to because it's is something that can influence people, you know?
mm, mm,
Like basically like we don't know anything about the world unless
mm.
it's through this media, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And whatever narrative they're selling to us, that's what our children are gonna learn.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
Like
that's why you drive fear into this.
yeah, you're right. So like even like as parents we can do only so much to
Mm,
prepare our children for the world, right? There
yeah.
is also this whole media narratives that they are feeding to us,
Mm,
right? So and especially like the free media, I understand why the government state controlled media is says
mm-mm,
these things about us, but like
mm-mm,
the free media, the ones that are actually not obliged to post anything that the government says.
Mm-hmm.
Why are they doing this? You know,
Mm-mm. Okay. Before we end the conversation, what can we learn from this? What is your most valuable lessons in this work and your advice to those who are struggling right now?
we are all struggling. We are all humans. You know, we are all trying to make a place, to make the smallest place in the world
Mm,
for ourselves. You know, and it's hard. It's especially hard for the LGBT plus community with all the, like what we mentioned, the stigmas, the challenges and things like that, right?
mm,
It's especially hard, and mental health issues is going to be there. Like, I wish that it's not, but
mhm,
it's gonna be there.
mm,
And because of that, like, I think with mental health issues, the main thing is that you have to be open for treatment.
mm,
Like, the thing about Malaysian law is that I can actually say that I can, if you, I think that you have mental health issues, I
mm,
can just lock you up in our ward and,
mm,
force feed you medication and things like that. That is legally we can do that, right?
mm,
The
mhm, mm.
psychiatrist in Malaysia,
Yeah.
but we don't want to do that, of course. One thing
Mhm,
is because it's
mm,
inhumane, but second thing is
mm,
that with mental health issues, whatever I do as a doctor doesn't mean anything if you don't want to be treated, or
mhm,
you are not open for treatment. Let's not say
mhm,
that you don't want to be treated, but you are not open for treatment. So if you suspect that you do have mental health issues or things like
mm,
that, our clinics, our hospitals are always open. The
mm.
government hospitals, government clinics, actually, like, you only have to pay like 5 ringgit, if I'm not mistaken.
True.
Yeah, to get help, and
Mhm.
this includes medication and things like that. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
and a lot more hospitals are offering psychiatric help. You
Mhm,
know, and the all the kesihatan, and the government clinics and things like that, they, even though they don't have psychiatry as a specialization there, their specialists,
mm,
the people who are in charge there are
mm,
actually trained in mental health issues as well,
mhm, mhm,
so they can help. The help is there. It's
mhm.
just that you just have to, like, be ready to reach out. Mm,
I've seen them and they are very, very professional.
mm.
They don't ridicule you, most of them. Yeah. So they
Ok-
will listen to you.
okay, can I say something about
Can.
because I
Ah,
think I think if any LGBT plus person listening to this
mm,
hear you say that, they would
mm,
be um they would be offended, maybe, because a
mm.
lot of them has faced stigma, or
They they did.
from doctors, from
Oh.
nurses, doctors, social workers. Yeah, so and unfortunately, it's something that is quite common, quite
Mhm,
rampant, I would say. And um, what I would suggest is try to make your way into a psychiatric clinic.
mhm,
If you cannot afford a private, then a government psychiatric clinic,
mm.
because people in the psychiatric clinics are required not to ridicule you, actually. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
but we are also much more open to all these things, right? Like,
Mm-mm,
we've seen our share of people of difficulties and things like that, and we understand
mm,
better than, say, those people, the other doctors. But I'm not saying
mhm.
that
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
some psychiatrists can be
Yeah.
homophobic as well, but
Yes. Yes.
at least the chances are better there.
Better lah.
If
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
you want help specifically for mental health issues, you
Mm,
can
mm,
you can Google for our Mentari, which is
mm.
the community clinics specifically for mental health issues.
What are your hopes and dreams for the future, for the community, the society in Malaysia and the world?
Oh, that's that's a huge question.
What are you?
Okay.
your hopes and dreams for yourself, for the community, for anyone. You
Hmm.
know, and hopefully for the country.
I hope that we can go towards a more accepting nation, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
and not only talking about LGBT, right? Like, because a lot of our narrative in Malaysia, politically at least, is about division. It's about who belongs where,
Mm-hmm.
right? I wish and I hope that, like, in my lifetime, I could see that does not happen anymore. You
Mm-hmm.
know, because, like, at the end of the day, the difference between me and a Chinese person or even a Chinese woman, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
less than 1% in our genetics,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And if we look at it, we all the same. We are all humans.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like, regardless of gender, age, sexuality, race,
Mm-hmm.
religion, right? Like, I just wish that is something I could see that being done in Malaysia, you know?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And yeah,
All right. Thank you, Dr. Johan Juhari, for sharing the insights and your research work with me today. I think this work is an inspiration to us all.
thank you.
Hopefully, this can promote a greater good for the future in the community and the world. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to He. A new episode is available every Thursday, and don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review. We'd love to hear from you. Follow me on social media at Rafi Ridzwan and at He Podcast for all the updates and behind the scenes. Once again, thank you for listening to He with Rafi Ridzwan.